Not because you hate who you were, but because you respect who you are becoming. If you want to grow, succeed, and become stronger, you must be willing to release every habit, every thought, every environment, and every excuse that has been keeping you trapped. This is not a small adjustment. This is a rebirth. You must step away from the noise, walk your own path, and rebuild yourself from the ground up. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is going to carry the weight for you. No one can become disciplined, focused, strong, and unstoppable on your behalf. If you want change, you must create it. If you want a new life, you must become a new person. The time is now. Destroy the old version of yourself and rebuild the strongest version of you. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Cut ties with the past. At some point, you have to stop dragging your past into your future. The person you used to be may have carried regret, fear, insecurity, laziness, anger, and doubt. But that person does not have to control where you go next. The past can become a prison if you keep returning to it. You replay old mistakes. You remember people who hurt you. You think about opportunities you missed. You punish yourself for choices you cannot undo. But no matter how many times you replay the past, you cannot rewrite it. What happened, happened. The only thing you can control now is what you do next. Cutting ties with your past means deciding that your future deserves more energy than your regrets. It means forgiving yourself for what you did not know before. It means accepting the lessons without carrying the weight forever. You do not need to keep living as the person who made those mistakes. You can learn. You can grow. You can change. Stop waiting for closure from people who may never give it to you. Stop waiting for apologies. Stop waiting for permission to move on. Sometimes closure is not a conversation. Sometimes closure is a decision. You decide that you are done giving power to what hurt you. You decide that your peace matters more than the explanation you never received. You decide to move forward even if nobody understands. The people from your past may not fit the future you are building. Some knew you when you were weak. Some benefited from your lack of boundaries. Some were comfortable with the old version of you because that version did not challenge them. When you begin to grow, not everyone will celebrate. Some people will question you. Some will mock you. Some will try to pull you back into old patterns. Let them stay where they are. You are moving forward. Your old habits must also be destroyed. If your old life was built on procrastination, distraction, negative thinking, poor discipline, and wasted time, then you cannot keep those habits and expect a new result. A new life requires a new standard. Wake up differently. Speak differently. Think differently. Move differently. Stop saying, "I always fail." Start saying, "I am learning." Stop saying, "I am not good enough." Start saying, "I am becoming stronger every day." Your words shape your identity. Your identity shapes your actions. Your actions shape your life. Remove the triggers that pull you backward. It may be a place. It may be a person. It may be music, social media, old messages, old routines, or certain environments. If something keeps reconnecting you to the person you are trying to outgrow, you must limit it or remove it completely. You cannot become new while constantly feeding the old version of yourself. Reinvention requires separation. There will be moments when the past calls you back. Old habits will tempt you. Old people will test you. Old thoughts will whisper that you cannot change. But remember this: you left for a reason. You grew for a reason. You burned the bridge for a reason. There is no going back. The only direction is forward. You are not your past. You are the person you choose to become today. Chapter 2. The strength of walking alone. Great transformation often happens in solitude. When you step away from distractions, silence the outside world, and stop seeking approval, you finally begin to hear yourself. Most people fear being alone because they have never learned how to sit with their own thoughts. They need noise. They need validation. They need someone around them to confirm who they are. But if you cannot stand alone, you will always be controlled by the crowd. Walking alone is not weakness. It is training. It teaches you who you are without applause, without opinions, and without outside influence. In solitude, you meet yourself honestly. You see your fears. You see your excuses. You see your weaknesses. But you also discover your strength. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some people will not understand your ambition. Some will think your discipline is strange. Some will call you distant when you are simply focused. Do not waste energy explaining your evolution to people committed to staying the same. Silence gives you power. When you remove constant noise, your mind becomes clearer. You begin to understand what matters. You recognize what drains you. You start seeing the difference between temporary pleasure and long-term purpose. Many of the strongest people in the world spent seasons alone. They trained alone, studied alone, built alone, failed alone, improved alone, and when the world finally noticed them, it looked sudden. But it was not sudden. It was built in silence. Solitude builds self-respect. When you stop needing people to approve of your choices, you become free. You no longer wait for someone to clap before you move. You no longer need someone to believe in you before you believe in yourself. You trust your path. You trust your discipline. You trust your ability to figure things out. Walking alone forces responsibility. There is no one to blame, no one to rescue you, no one to carry your discipline for you. You either rise or you stay where you are. That level of responsibility creates strength. Being alone does not mean rejecting everyone. It means learning to stand strong enough that your peace does not depend on anyone. Healthy support is valuable, but dependence is dangerous. You must be able to walk alone if necessary. You must be able to keep going even when no one understands. Your purpose becomes clear when distractions disappear. The more time you spend with yourself, the more you learn what truly matters. You discover your mission. You sharpen your focus. You become selective with your energy. You stop giving access to people who drain you. You stop wasting time on things that do not serve you. Walking alone is not loneliness. It is freedom. It is discipline. It is the place where you become powerful. Embrace solitude, master yourself, and let your growth speak louder than your words. Chapter 3. Escape comfort and kill. Weakness. Comfort is one of the most dangerous traps in life. It feels safe. It feels easy. It feels familiar. But comfort quietly steals your potential. The longer you choose comfort over challenge, the longer you delay becoming who you are capable of becoming. Strength is not built in ease. Strength is built in resistance. Your body grows stronger when it is challenged. Your mind grows sharper when it is tested. Your character grows deeper when life becomes difficult and you refuse to quit. Weakness is created through repeated easy choices. Every time you avoid responsibility, you strengthen weakness. Every time you choose distraction over discipline, you strengthen weakness. Every time you say, "I will start tomorrow," you train yourself to delay your own growth. But strength is also built through repeated choices. Every time you do what must be done even when you do not feel like it, you become stronger. Every time you face discomfort instead of running from it, you become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over temporary pleasure, you become stronger. The easy path leads nowhere meaningful. If you only do what is comfortable, your life will remain the same. Same habits, same mindset, same results, same regrets. If you want something different, you must do something different. You must train your mind to stop worshipping comfort. Fear is not always a warning to stop. Sometimes fear is a sign that you are stepping into growth. The conversation you are avoiding, the work you keep delaying, the discipline you keep resisting, the challenge you keep fearing, that may be exactly where your next level is hiding. Discomfort is the price of growth. Most people want success without sacrifice. They want confidence without discipline. They want strength without struggle. They want change without discomfort, but life does not reward wishes. Life rewards action. Your greatest battlefield is your mind. The old mindset says, "I am too tired." The stronger mindset says, "Do it anyway." The old mindset says, "I am not ready." The stronger mindset says, "Start before you feel ready." The old mindset says, "Tomorrow." The stronger mindset says, "Now." Procrastination is one of the quietest forms of self-destruction. Every time you delay what matters, you teach yourself that your goals are optional. Stop negotiating with your excuses. Start taking action. Pain is not your enemy. Pain teaches, pain reveals. Pain strengthens. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret can last for years. You must choose which pain you are willing to carry. Do not stop when it becomes hard. Hard is where the transformation begins. The moment you want to quit is often the moment you are being tested. That is the moment where weakness either survives or dies. You are capable of more than you think. Your limits are often not real limits. They are old beliefs. They are fear. They are habits. They are stories you have repeated for too long. Push beyond them. If you lack confidence, build discipline. If you lack focus, remove distractions. If you lack motivation, create structure. If you lack strength, seek challenge. Comfort makes you soft. Hardship makes you strong. Step out of the comfort zone. Face the struggle. Break the chains of weakness. The strongest version of you is waiting on the other side of discomfort. Chapter 4. Reprogram your mind. Your mind is the foundation of your life. The way you think determines how you act. The way you act determines what you become. If your mind is filled with fear, doubt, and limitation, your life will reflect that. To rebuild yourself, you must rebuild your mindset. Most people are living with programming they never chose. From childhood, society, family, school, friends, and past experiences shaped what they believe is possible. They were told who they were. They were told what they could not do. They were told to be realistic. They were taught to fear failure. But not every belief you carry belongs to you. Some beliefs were handed to you by people who never achieved what you are trying to achieve. Some limitations were planted by environments that did not know your potential. It is time to question everything. When a thought says, "I cannot do this," ask, is that true or is that fear? When your mind says, "I always fail," ask, is that fact or is that an old story? When you think, "People like me do not succeed," ask, who taught me that? Awareness is the beginning of transformation. You cannot change thoughts you never examine. Start paying attention to what runs through your mind every day. Are your thoughts building you or breaking you? Are they moving you forward or keeping you trapped? Your words program your reality. Every time you say, "I can't," your mind listens. Every time you say, "I am weak," your mind accepts it. Every time you say, "This is too hard," your mind looks for a reason to quit. Change your language. Say, "I can figure this out." Say, "I am becoming disciplined." Say, "I am stronger than my excuses." Say, "I do not quit." You must feed your mind with strength. What you watch matters. What you listen to matters. What you read matters. The people around you matter. Your environment is constantly programming you. If you consume negativity all day, do not be surprised when your mind becomes negative. If you surround yourself with fear, gossip, laziness, and complaint, do not be surprised when you feel drained. Protect your mind. Surround yourself with ideas, people, and habits that strengthen you. Visualize the person you are becoming. See yourself disciplined. See yourself focused. See yourself calm under pressure. See yourself winning. The mind moves toward the identity it repeatedly imagines. But visualization without action is fantasy. Your habits must support your new mindset. You cannot think like a champion and live like someone who has no standards. Wake up with intention. Work with focus. Train your body. Control your emotions. Keep your promises to yourself. Your identity is built through repetition. Stop saying, "I'm trying to be disciplined." Say, "I'm disciplined." Stop saying, "I hope I change." Say, "I'm changing now." Failure is no longer proof that you are weak. Failure is feedback. Failure teaches you where to adjust. The old you feared failure. The new you uses failure. Remove the option to quit. If you leave yourself an escape, your mind will try to take it. Commit fully. Make growth your standard. Make discipline your identity. Erase the old programming. Install a new mindset. Step into the person you are meant to become. Chapter 5. Remove negative influences. Your environment shapes your future. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, the conversations you entertain, and the habits you repeat all influence who you become. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, it will affect your thoughts. If you are surrounded by excuses, you will begin making excuses. If you are surrounded by people with no ambition, your own ambition will weaken. Negativity spreads quietly. At first, it seems harmless. A complaint here, a doubt there, a toxic conversation. A wasted evening. A person who always drains your energy. Over time, it changes your standards. It lowers your expectations. It makes weakness feel normal. You must protect yourself. Some people are not evil. They are simply not aligned with where you are going. They love drama. They complain constantly. They mock discipline. They live without direction and become uncomfortable when someone else starts growing. These people are anchors. You cannot fly while holding on to anchors. Toxic relationships weaken your focus. If someone constantly brings chaos, doubt, manipulation, disrespect, or emotional exhaustion into your life, you must create distance. Sometimes that means a conversation. Sometimes that means boundaries. Sometimes that means walking away. You do not cut people off because you hate them. You do it because you are protecting your growth. Your mind is also shaped by what you consume. If your daily diet is outrage, gossip, meaningless entertainment, and endless scrolling, your mind will become scattered. Choose content that strengthens you. Read things that expand you. Listen to things that challenge you. Watch things that make you better. Your success will make some people uncomfortable. When you begin to rise, people who are not rising with you may try to pull you back. They may say you have changed. They may say you think you are better. They may question your goals. Understand this. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Growth will always expose who is truly for you. Negativity often disguises itself as concern. People may say, "Are you sure you can do that?" They may say, "Be realistic." They may say, "What if you fail?" Sometimes they are projecting their own fear onto your future. Listen carefully, but do not let fear make decisions for you. Not everyone belongs in your inner circle. Your inner circle should reflect your future, not your past. Surround yourself with people who are disciplined, honest, ambitious, focused, and growth-minded. You become like the people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Do not let guilt keep you trapped in toxic environments. You are not responsible for saving everyone. You are responsible for becoming the best version of yourself. Your growth may inspire others, but you cannot force people to grow with you. The internet is filled with noise. Block it, mute it, unfollow it, delete it. If something drains your focus, remove it. If something makes you feel weak, limit it. If something pulls you into old habits, cut it off. Negative habits are influences too. Procrastination, overeating, oversleeping, mindless scrolling, constant complaining, avoiding responsibility. These habits shape your identity. Replace them with routines that make you stronger. Once you remove negativity, your energy returns. Your focus sharpens. Your confidence grows. Your discipline becomes easier. You finally have space to build. Protect your mind. Protect your circle. Protect your environment. Protect your future. Cut off what weakens you and never look back. Chapter 6. Build an Unbreakable. Routine. Your routine is the blueprint of your future. Who you become is not determined by what you say you want. It is determined by what you do every day. If your days are undisciplined, your life will be unstable. If your days are structured, focused, and intentional, your future will reflect that. Success is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in small choices repeated consistently. Waking up on time, doing the work, training your body, feeding your mind, avoiding distractions, keeping promises to yourself. These are the bricks that build a new life. A strong routine removes the need for motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you will feel inspired. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel nothing, but routine keeps you moving when emotion disappears. You do not ask yourself whether you feel like doing it. You simply do it because that is who you are. Your morning routine sets the tone for the day. If you wake up and immediately grab your phone, scroll through distractions, and fill your mind with noise, you begin the day weak. But if you wake up with purpose, move your body, organize your thoughts, and take control of your first hour, you begin the day with power. Win the morning. Win the day. Your routine does not have to be perfect. It has to be consistent. A simple routine you follow every day is more powerful than an extreme routine you quit after a week. Start with the basics. Wake up at a consistent time. Move your body. Plan your day. Do focused work. Read or learn. Reflect at night. Sleep properly. Master the foundation first. Discipline is created through the repetition. The more you repeat the right actions, the less effort they require. Eventually, discipline becomes automatic. You become the kind of person who does the work without needing to be pushed. Your routine should eliminate distractions. Your phone, notifications, unnecessary conversations, and random interruptions are stealing pieces of your life. Protect your time. Your time is not unlimited. Every hour wasted is an hour you never get back. Prioritize the most important tasks. Many people are busy, but not productive. They fill their day with activity, but avoid the work that matters. Do the hard things first. Handle the tasks that move your life forward. Focus on impact, not appearance. Track your progress. What gets measured gets improved. Use a journal, planner, calendar, or app. Hold yourself accountable. If you do not track your habits, it becomes easy to lie to yourself. Your night routine matters too. How you end the day affects how you begin the next one. Disconnect from distractions. Review what you did well. Notice what needs improvement. Prepare for tomorrow. Sleep like someone who respects their future. Never miss twice. You may slip. You may have a bad day. Life may interrupt your plan, but do not allow one missed day to become a broken identity. Get back on track immediately. Momentum is everything. Do not overload your routine. If you try to change everything at once, you may burn out. Choose a few powerful habits and execute them consistently. Quality beats quantity. Consistency beats intensity. Adapt when necessary, but never abandon discipline. Life will not always follow your schedule. Things will happen, plans will change. But an unbreakable routine is flexible without becoming weak. Adjust and keep moving. Your routine is a reflection of your standards. If you say success matters but your day is filled with laziness, you're lying to yourself. If you say health matters but you neglect your body, your actions reveal the truth. Align your routine with your goals. The fastest way to change your life is to change your daily habits. Design your routine with purpose. Execute it with discipline. Repeat it until your life transforms. Chapter 7. Master Emotional Control and Self-Discipline. Your emotions can either serve you or control you. If you allow anger, fear, frustration, sadness, jealousy, or anxiety to dictate your actions, you will make decisions you later regret. But when you learn to master your emotions, you gain power over your life. Emotional control does not mean you feel nothing. It means you do not let feelings rule your behavior. The strongest people still feel fear. They still feel anger. They still feel pressure. But they pause. They think. They respond with discipline instead of reacting from impulse. Discipline is doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. If you only work when motivated, you will be inconsistent. If you only train when energized, you will be average. If you only focus when life is easy, you will never build real strength. Self-discipline is built in the moments when you want to quit, when you are tired but continue, when you are angry but stay calm, when you are tempted but choose the long-term goal, when you are discouraged but still show up. Those moments are where mental strength is formed. Reacting emotionally gives away your power. When someone insults you and you lose control, they control you. When a problem appears and you panic, the problem controls you. When temptation appears and you instantly give in, your impulses control you. You must become harder to control. Pause before you respond. Ask yourself, will this action help me or hurt me? Ask, is this emotion telling me the truth or is it simply passing through? Ask, what would the disciplined version of me do right now? Your emotions are signals, not commands. Fear can tell you to prepare. Anger can show you what needs to change. Sadness can reveal what matters. Stress can show where you need better systems. Use emotions as information, not instructions. Patience is emotional power. Most people quit because they want results immediately. But transformation takes time. Success takes time. Strength takes time. The ability to stay focused when progress is slow separates winners from quitters. Self-control means choosing long-term freedom over short-term pleasure. The undisciplined person chooses what feels good now. The disciplined person chooses what builds a better future. That is the difference. Discipline creates freedom. It may look restrictive from the outside, but discipline gives you control. You control your time. You control your money. You control your body. You control your mind. You control your direction. The more disciplined you become, the less life controls you. A calm mind sees clearly. When everyone else is panicking, the calm person sees solutions. When everyone else is reacting, the disciplined person moves strategically. When everyone else is distracted, the focused person advances. Protect your mental energy. Do not waste it on pointless arguments, drama, gossip, or things you cannot control. Your energy is limited. Spend it where it matters. Your triggers reveal your weaknesses. If certain people, habits, environments, or situations repeatedly make you lose control, study them. Set boundaries. Remove what you can. Strengthen yourself where needed. Do not expect life to stop testing you. Train yourself to respond better. You are responsible for your reactions. You may not control everything that happens, but you control how you respond. Choose control, choose patience, choose discipline, choose strength. A disciplined mind is one of the greatest advantages in the world. Master yourself, and you master your future. Chapter 8. Reinvent your identity. The person you were yesterday does not have to be the person you are today. Your identity is not fixed. It is built. It is shaped by your beliefs, your habits, your environment, your standards, and your repeated choices. If you want a new life, you must become a new person, not just externally. Internally, you must stop identifying with the old version of yourself. Stop saying, I am lazy. Stop saying, I am not confident. Stop saying, I always fail. Stop saying, this is just who I am. No, that is who you practiced being, and with new practice, you can become someone else. Erase the labels that limit you. Maybe people called you shy, weak, average, undisciplined, a failure. Not good enough. But labels only become permanent if you accept them. You can redefine yourself through action. If you want to become disciplined, practice discipline. If you want to become confident, practice confidence. If you want to become strong, do things that build strength. Your identity follows your repeated actions. Every decision is a vote. When you wake up early, you vote for the disciplined version of yourself. When you keep your promise, you vote for the trustworthy version of yourself. When you train despite not feeling like it, you vote for the strong version of yourself. When you procrastinate, complain, and make excuses, you vote for the old version. Make every vote count. Reinvention requires sacrifice. You cannot become new while clinging to everything old. Old habits must go. Old environments may need to go. Old relationships may need boundaries. Old routines must be replaced. The comfort of your former identity must be surrendered. At first, the new version of you may feel unfamiliar. That is normal. Growth often feels strange before it feels natural. You may feel like an imposter when you start acting disciplined. You may feel uncomfortable setting boundaries. You may feel awkward carrying yourself with confidence. Keep going. Eventually, the new identity becomes your normal. Your self-image determines your behavior. If you see yourself as weak, you will act weak. If you see yourself as capable, you will act with more courage. If you see yourself as someone who does not quit, you will push through hard moments. You must believe in the new you before the world sees proof. Do not announce your reinvention too early. Let your actions speak. Some people will expect you to return to your old habits. Some will doubt your change. Some will try to remind you of who you used to be. Let them talk. Consistency will make your transformation undeniable. Your past no longer defines you. Your actions today do. It does not matter how long you were stuck. It does not matter how many times you failed. It does not matter how many years you wasted. What matters is what you choose now. Reinvention is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong process. There is always another level, another standard, another weakness to overcome, another strength to build. Keep evolving. The old you is not your prison. The new you is your responsibility. Build yourself deliberately. Act like the person you want to become. Repeat it until you become unrecognizable. Chapter 9. The Art of Self-Reliance. No one is coming to save you. That truth may sound harsh, but it is also freeing, because once you stop waiting, you start building. Many people delay their lives waiting for the right person, the perfect opportunity, a mentor, a sign, or someone to believe in them. But your life is your responsibility. Your success is your responsibility. Your growth is your responsibility. Self-reliance means becoming your own source of strength. You stop depending on others to motivate you. You stop needing approval before you take action. You stop waiting for someone to understand your vision. You lead yourself. The strongest people know how to stand alone. They can accept help, but they do not depend on it. They can receive support, but they are not helpless without it. They can listen to advice, but they make their own decisions. Dependence weakens you when it becomes a habit. If you always need someone else to solve your problems, you never learn to solve them yourself. If you always need someone else to push you, you never build internal discipline. If your confidence depends on others, your confidence will always be unstable. Trust yourself. You may not have every answer right now, but you can learn. You can adapt. You can figure things out. Self-reliance is built through action. Every problem you solve strengthens you. Every decision you make develops judgment. Every failure you survive proves that you can handle more than you thought. Stop expecting everyone to understand your dreams. They will not see what you see. They will not feel your hunger. They will not carry your consequences. That is why you must move even when no one claps. Financial self-reliance matters. Emotional self-reliance matters. Mental self-reliance matters. Skill-based self-reliance matters. Build yourself until your stability is not easily taken away. Learn valuable skills. Improve your communication. Develop problem-solving ability. Understand money. Train your discipline. Strengthen your mindset. You are your greatest asset. Money can be lost. People can leave. Opportunities can disappear. But your skills, knowledge, discipline, and mindset remain with you. Invest in yourself first. Self-reliance does not mean rejecting people. It means not being helpless without them. It means you can collaborate without depending on validation. It means you can love people without losing yourself. It means you can walk with others, but you can also stand alone. Challenges reveal your level of self-reliance. When life becomes difficult, do you collapse and blame everyone? Or do you breathe, think, adapt, and find a way forward? Strong people search for solutions. Weak habits search for excuses. You are not a victim of your circumstances. Bad things happen. People fail you. Life gets unfair, but at some point, you must decide whether you will be controlled by what happened or strengthened by how you respond. Take ownership. Take action. Take control. Build a life that does not require constant rescue. Stand on your own foundation. Trust yourself. Become the kind of person who can survive, adapt, and rise no matter what happens. That is self-reliance. Chapter 10. Turn pain into power. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a teacher. Every failure, heartbreak, loss, rejection, and struggle carries a lesson. Most people spend their lives trying to escape pain. They numb it. They distract themselves from it. They complain about it, but the strongest people learn how to use pain. Pain reveals where you are weak. It shows you where you need to grow. It exposes what you have been avoiding. It forces you to face the truth. You can either let pain break you, or you can let it build you. The choice is yours. Hardship creates depth. No great person was built entirely through comfort. The strongest minds have been tested. The most disciplined people have suffered. The most resilient individuals have faced moments where quitting seemed easier than continuing, but they kept going. That is what made them different. Pain can become fuel. A rejection can push you to improve. A failure can teach you strategy. A loss can clarify what matters. A difficult season can create a stronger version of you. Your pain is energy. You decide where to direct it. Do not waste pain by complaining. Do not waste pain by becoming bitter. Do not waste pain by using it as an excuse to stay stuck. Use it. Let it sharpen you. Let it discipline you. Let it wake you up. Some of the greatest transformations begin in the darkest moments. When life strips away comfort, you discover what is real. You find out who you are. You find out what matters. You find out how badly you want to change. Pain forces reinvention. When everything is comfortable, you have little reason to grow. But when life becomes painful enough, you are forced to ask different questions. What needs to change? What lesson is here? What weakness must I destroy? What strength must I build? Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? That question changes everything. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret lasts much longer. You can suffer now by doing the work, facing the truth, and building yourself. Or you can suffer later by realizing you wasted years avoiding discomfort. Choose your pain wisely. Pressure creates strength. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is forged in fire. Muscle grows through resistance. The same is true for you. The harder the challenge, the greater the opportunity to become stronger. Your struggles can also become your story. One day, the pain you overcame may inspire someone else. Your survival may become proof that transformation is possible. Your scars may become wisdom. Do not let pain make you smaller. Let it make you stronger. Let every setback become training. Let every disappointment become fuel. Let every difficult season build resilience. Pain will pass, but the strength you gain from it can last forever. Turn your pain into power. Use it. Rise from it. Become stronger because of it. Chapter 11. Build a relentless work. Ethic. Success does not belong to the most talented. It belongs to the most consistent. Talent may give someone an advantage, but work ethic determines who lasts. Many people have dreams. Few are willing to work for them every day. Everyone wants the result. Few respect the process. A relentless work ethic means you show up whether you feel like it or not. You work when motivation fades. You work when no one is watching. You work when results are slow. You work when it is boring, repetitive, and uncomfortable. That is where greatness is built. Excuses will always be available. So will results. You must choose which one you want. You can say you are tired. You can say you do not have time. You can say you will start tomorrow. Or you can find a way. Winners find a way. Work like your future depends on it, because it does. Every hour matters. Every day matters. Every choice matters. The time you waste does not return. The opportunity you delay may disappear. Move with urgency. Hard work is the price of becoming exceptional. There are no shortcuts that replace discipline. There are tools, there are strategies, there are smarter ways to work. But no strategy matters if you are unwilling to execute consistently. Master the boring work, the repetition, the practice, the study, the small details, the quiet hours. The work nobody praises. That is where separation happens. Most people quit because the process is not exciting, but those who win learn to respect the grind. Your work ethic must become part of your identity. You are not someone who works hard only when inspired. You are someone who shows up because that is your standard. You do not negotiate with discipline. You do not wait for perfect conditions. You do not need to be watched to give your best. The way you do one thing becomes the way you do everything. If you allow laziness in one area, it spreads. If you practice excellence in small things, it grows. Treat your commitments seriously. Treat your goals seriously. Treat your time seriously. Your future self is watching. Every time you choose discipline, your future self benefits. Every time you choose laziness, your future self pays. Work in a way that makes the future version of you proud. Focused effort matters. Working hard on the wrong things can still lead nowhere. Be strategic. Choose the actions that create real progress. Eliminate busy work. Prioritize deep work. Measure results. Improve constantly. Consistency beats intensity. Anyone can work hard for one day. Few can work hard for years. That is what separates the average from the elite. Fall in love with the process. If you only chase the outcome, you will burn out when results take longer than expected. But if you learn to respect the daily work, you become unstoppable. No one owes you success. You must earn it, not through wishes, not through talk, not through temporary effort, through discipline, focus, sacrifice, and relentless execution. Commit to the work. Show up every day. Outlast your excuses. Outgrow your old standards. Success is not given, it is built. Chapter 12. The Mindset of Those Who Never Quit. Everyone feels pain. Everyone faces doubt. Everyone reaches moments where quitting seems easier than continuing. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not that successful people never struggle. It is that they keep going. Quitting can become a habit. Every time you quit when things get hard, you train yourself to escape discomfort. But persistence can also become a habit. Every time you push through resistance, you train yourself to endure. Make persistence your default. Your mind is the battlefield. Before most people fail in reality, they fail in their thoughts. They tell themselves they cannot do it. They believe the obstacle is too big. They accept defeat before the fight is over. You must train your mind to resist that voice. The voice that says, stop. The voice that says, this is too hard. The voice that says, you have done enough. The voice that says, maybe this is not for you. Ignore it. Keep moving. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every failure contains information. Every mistake gives feedback. Every setback reveals what must be improved. People who never quit do not see failure as final. They use it. Most people quit because results do not come quickly enough. They expect transformation in days. They expect mastery without repetition. They expect success without patience. But real success takes time. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. Many people quit right before the result appears. They stop at the hardest point, not realizing the hardest point often comes right before growth. Push past the breaking point. Pain is temporary. Regret lasts longer. If you quit, you will always wonder what could have happened if you had continued. Do not give yourself that question. Keep going long enough to find out what you are capable of. Your goals must become non-negotiable. If you always keep an escape route, you will take it when things get difficult. Commit fully. Remove quitting as an option. Adjust the strategy if needed. Rest if needed. Learn if needed. But do not quit. Those who never quit focus on purpose more than pain. When the work is hard, remember why you started. When progress is slow, remember what is at stake. When doubt appears, remember the future you are building. Purpose gives pain meaning. Mental toughness is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite fear. Every strong person has felt uncertainty. Every successful person has faced doubt. Every winner has struggled. They became different because they continued anyway. Do not wait for motivation. Commitment is stronger. Motivation will not always show up. Discipline must. When others slow down, you speed up. When others quit, you continue. When others complain, you execute. That is how separation happens. The most dangerous person is the one who refuses to stop. You cannot defeat someone who keeps learning, keeps adapting, keeps rising, and keeps moving forward. Become that person. Never quit, never break, never stop becoming stronger. As long as you keep going, your story is not over. Chapter 13. Become the new you. The old version of you is gone. Not because it never existed, but because it no longer leads. The excuses are gone. The weak habits are being destroyed. The old mindset is losing power. A stronger version of you is being built. Transformation is not a single moment, it is a daily decision. You do not become great in one day. You become great through repeated choices. Action by action, habit by habit. Standard by standard. The new you must be reflected in how you live. If you want to be disciplined, act disciplined. If you want to be strong, act strong. If you want to be focused, remove distractions. If you want a new identity, stop behaving like the old one. Leave doubt behind. The old you hesitated, the old you waited, the old you needed approval. The new you moves with purpose. The new you takes responsibility. The new you acts before fear can take control. This transformation must be protected. Many people change for a short time and then return to old patterns. They get inspired, make progress, then lose focus. You cannot let this be temporary. The new you must become non-negotiable. There is no going back. Every decision must align with who you are becoming. The way you wake up, the way you speak, the way you spend your time, the way you handle stress, the way you respond to temptation, the way you carry yourself. Everything must reflect the new standard. Protect your identity from anything that weakens it. Toxic people, old habits, negative environments, pointless distractions, self-doubt, excuses. None of these belong in your future. The strongest transformations happen quietly. You do not need to announce every change. You do not need applause. You do not need validation. Let your consistency speak. Let your results speak. Let your discipline speak. You are no longer competing with others. You are competing with your past self. Every day, become better than yesterday. More focused, more disciplined, more patient, more resilient, more intentional. Growth is now your lifestyle. The journey is not over. It is just beginning. There is no final version of you. There is always another level to reach, another weakness to conquer, another skill to build, another standard to raise. The new you does not fear discomfort. You understand that struggle is part of growth. You no longer run from hard things. You face them. You no longer see yourself as lazy, weak, or inconsistent. You see yourself as disciplined, capable, and relentless. Your past does not define you anymore. Your choices today do. Every morning is another chance to prove who you are becoming. Every challenge is another chance to strengthen the new identity. Every obstacle is another chance to show yourself that you are not who you used to be. Your transformation is yours to protect. No one else can do it for you. No one else can keep you on the path. No one else can save you from your old habits. You must choose the new you every day. Walk with confidence, move with purpose, live with discipline. The old you is gone, the new you is rising, and this is only the beginning. Chapter 14. Move in silence. Powerful people do not announce every move. They build quietly. They work privately. They let their results speak. When you talk too much about your goals, you often waste energy that should be used for execution. You invite opinions. You invite doubt. You invite distraction. Silence protects your mission. Not everyone needs to know what you are building. Some people will not understand. Some will criticize. Some will secretly hope you fail. Some will try to discourage you before you even begin. Keep your plans protected. Your growth should not be a performance. If you are improving only so others can notice, your foundation is weak. Build for yourself. Grow because you respect your future. Work because your purpose demands it. The loudest person is not always the strongest. True confidence is quiet. True discipline does not need attention. True power does not beg to be seen. When you move in silence, your focus sharpens. There is no pressure to explain, no need to impress, no wasted energy defending your vision. Just work, just progress. Just execution. People cannot sabotage what they do not know. If everyone knows your plans, everyone can comment on them. Some may doubt you. Some may distract you. Some may compete with you. Some may try to plant fear in your mind. Privacy gives you protection. Discipline thrives in the shadows. The greatest work often happens when nobody is watching. The extra hour, the quiet study, the early morning, the late night, the private sacrifice. The unseen repetition, that is where greatness is formed. Let people underestimate you. Let them think you are not moving. Let them assume nothing is happening. While they talk, you build. While they judge, you improve. While they sleep on you, you sharpen yourself. By the time they notice, you will already be ahead. Silence is also emotional control. Not every insult needs a response. Not every opinion deserves attention. Not every question requires an explanation. Sometimes the most powerful answer is no answer. Your results will explain enough. The less you reveal, the more control you keep. When no one knows your next move, they cannot interfere with it. When no one knows your strategy, they cannot weaken it. When no one knows your progress, they cannot distract you from it. Work in private. Improve in private. Heal in private. Train in private. Build in private. Then let the outcome speak in public. The best revenge is silent success. If they doubted you, let your results answer. If they laughed at your ambition, let your discipline answer. If they underestimated you, let your growth answer. Move in silence. Build in the dark, and when the time comes, let your transformation be impossible to ignore. Chapter 15. Protect your energy and stay focused. Your energy is one of your most valuable resources. Where you spend it determines what you become. Every conversation, habit, thought, relationship, and environment either fuels you or drains you. Protect your energy like your future depends on it. Because it does. Distractions are the enemy of greatness. Every pointless argument, unnecessary notification, toxic conversation, and wasted hour pulls you away from your goals. Most people do not fail because they lack potential. They fail because their focus is scattered. Your focus determines your future. What you consistently give attention to will grow. If you focus on drama, your life becomes chaotic. If you focus on fear, your confidence weakens. If you focus on discipline, growth, and purpose, your life begins to transform. Not everyone deserves access to you. Some people drain your energy every time you interact with them. They complain, they gossip, they create problems, they disrespect your time, they interrupt your focus. Set boundaries. You do not owe unlimited access to anyone who weakens your growth. Your mental space must be protected. What you consume matters. The videos you watch, the accounts you follow, the music you play, the conversations you join, the thoughts you repeat, all of it shapes your mind. Feed your mind with strength. Reject what weakens you. Focus is a skill. It must be trained. Every time you resist distraction, your focus becomes stronger. Every time you give in to distraction, your focus becomes weaker. Train your attention like a muscle. Your phone can be one of the greatest thieves of your energy. Notifications, endless scrolling, messages, short videos. Constant comparison. If you do not control your technology, it will control you. Use it with intention. Do not let it use you. Overthinking drains energy. Action creates clarity. The longer you sit in fear and indecision, the heavier everything feels. Move, decide, try, adjust, keep going. You do not have time for everything. Choose wisely. Every invitation does not deserve a yes. Every request does not require your attention. Every opportunity is not aligned with your future. Learn to say no without guilt. A focused person understands what to ignore. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every opinion matters. Save your energy for the mission. Your environment affects your focus. A cluttered space can create a cluttered mind. Clean your surroundings. Remove distractions. Create an atmosphere that supports discipline. Protect your peace. Rest matters. Rest is not weakness. Your body and mind need recovery. But do not confuse rest with laziness. Rest with purpose. Recover so you can return stronger. Your energy should be spent more on creation than consumption. Most people consume all day. They scroll, watch, react, compare, worry. Winners create. They build, learn, train, practice, improve, choose creation. Your habits dictate your energy. If you begin the day with distraction, your mind becomes scattered. If you begin with discipline, your energy becomes directed. Win the morning. Guard your focus. Set the tone. The world is loud. You must learn to block it out. Opinions will come. Criticism will come. Temptation will come. Distractions will come, but none of them can stop you unless you give them access. Your energy is sacred. Use it wisely. Spend it on your growth. Spend it on your purpose. Spend it on your health. Spend it on your skills. Spend it on becoming the strongest version of yourself. Stay locked in. Stay disciplined. Protect your energy. Your future is built by what you focus on today. Closing. Your new beginning. You have come this far. You have faced the truth. You have seen what must change. You have begun burning away the old version of yourself, the version that made excuses, waited for perfect timing, relied on motivation, and allowed fear to lead. But now there is no turning back. You are no longer here to live small. You are no longer here to repeat the same cycles. You are no longer here to be controlled by your past, your emotions, your distractions, or your excuses. You are rebuilding yourself, stronger, wiser, calmer, sharper, more disciplined, more focused, more powerful. But remember this: growth is not something you do once. It is something you choose every day. Every day, choose discipline over comfort. Choose purpose over distraction. Choose strength over weakness. Choose progress over excuses. Choose the future over the past. Walk your path. Protect your energy. Move in silence. Trust yourself. Do the work. Never let the old you return. This is your rebirth. This is your transformation. This is your new beginning. Now go build the life you were meant to live. The environment effect. Why you're not in control and how to take it back. Introduction. You wake up every day believing you're in control. You're not. Your life isn't falling apart. It's being shaped by everything around you. You're not stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because you're conditioned. And if your environment never changes, neither will you. I remember a morning that felt painfully familiar. I woke up with intention, not motivation, intention. The kind where you tell yourself, today is different. Today I focus. Today I finally take control. Then I reached for my phone. Just 5 minutes, I told myself. 5 minutes became scrolling. Scrolling became noise. Noise became an hour gone before I'd even left my bed. I stared at the ceiling and felt it again, that quiet frustration, that subtle shame, that sense that something was wrong with me. Because this wasn't the first time. It wasn't even the 10th. It was a pattern. Same start, same mistake, same outcome. The worst part, I knew exactly what I was doing and still couldn't stop. Then a thought hit me, hard enough to be uncomfortable. What if I was never in control to begin with? What if I wasn't failing from a lack of discipline, but because I was surrounded by things engineered to make me fail? That question wouldn't leave me alone. When I started paying attention, I noticed what I'd ignored for years. My phone was always within reach. My space was full of distractions. My environment wasn't neutral. It was engineered, not by intention, but by default. And it was shaping my behavior every single day, without asking, without warning, without me even noticing. I wasn't choosing my actions. I was reacting to what I saw, to what was easy, to whatever was right in front of me. Suddenly, it all made sense. Why I repeated the same habits. Why I couldn't stay consistent. Why I always felt like I was starting over. It wasn't weakness. My environment was simply stronger than my awareness. If you've ever felt like you're trying your best but still stuck in the same loop, here's the truth you might be missing. You are not lazy, not broken, not undisciplined. You are adapting perfectly to the environment you're in. Every object around you influences you. Every space directs you. Every input trains you. Your environment isn't passive, it's active, constantly shaping your decisions, your habits, and ultimately, your identity. Here's the part that changes everything. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your environment. No matter how motivated you feel right now, if nothing around you changes, your life will quietly stay the same. Same distractions, same patterns, same version of you. But once you see this, you can't unsee it. And once you understand it, you can change it. Because if your environment has been controlling you without your awareness, you can redesign it with intention. You don't need to fight yourself anymore. You don't need motivation that fades or discipline you have to force every day. You just need to change what's shaping you, and when you do, your actions shift without resistance. Your focus becomes natural, your habits become automatic, and real control comes back to you. This is how your environment has been silently running your life, and how to take that control back. Not by trying harder, but by designing smarter. Because the moment you change what's around you, you change who you become. Chapter 1. Your environment is an invisible script. You're not choosing your habits. You're following a script written around you. You sit down to work with clear intention, maybe even a spark of motivation. Then your phone lights up. You don't think, you just glance. One notification becomes two. Two becomes checking something quick. And suddenly, your attention is gone. Not destroyed. Redirected. 10 minutes later, you're not working anymore. A quiet frustration builds, not dramatic, just enough to make you feel slightly off, slightly behind, like you've already slipped before the day even started. You stare at the screen, knowing exactly what you should be doing, but something invisible keeps pulling you elsewhere. Here's what no one teaches you. Most of the time, you're not choosing anything, you're responding. Your environment constantly sends signals, quiet instructions your brain follows faster than you can consciously think. Not because you're weak, but because that's how your brain is built. It doesn't want to think harder, it wants to react faster. So it looks for the easiest, most visible, most available option, and whatever shows up first usually wins. Your behavior isn't random, it's predictable. Phone within reach? You'll check it. Distractions visible? You'll drift toward them. Noisy environment? Your mind follows. You don't decide. Your surroundings already decided for you. Once you see this pattern, it gets uncomfortable. You notice yourself opening a laptop and immediately switching tabs, picking up your phone for no reason, standing up and forgetting why. Not once every day, and repetition creates identity. You start telling yourself, I can't focus. I've always been like this. But that's not truth. That's just the residue of what you've been exposed to. Picture two environments. One, cluttered desk, notifications on, phone within arm's reach, 10 tabs open, background noise. The other, clean space, phone out of sight, one task open, silence. Same person, completely different behavior. Not because of discipline, because of design. Your environment isn't just a place, it's a script, and every object in it is a line of dialogue. Your phone says, check me. Your bed says, lie down. Your cluttered desk says, avoid this. And without realizing it, you obey. There's a moment most people never admit to. You know you're wasting time, you feel the tension between who you want to be and what you're doing, and instead of fixing it, you escape it. Not because you want to fail, but because your environment has made failure easier than progress. That's why you feel stuck, not from lack of motivation, but because you're living inside a system engineered to pull you back into the same loop. And the longer you stay there, the more that behavior starts to feel like you. It becomes your normal. But it was never you. It was conditioning, and conditioning can be reversed. If your environment can train you into distraction, it can train you into focus if you take control of it. Start small. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. That's where most people fail. Just look around you right now. What's the first thing your eyes land on? What's the easiest action available? What's quietly pulling your attention away? Remove one thing, just one. Move your phone out of reach. Close a tab. Clear a corner of your desk. You don't need a perfect system, just a better one than yesterday. Even a small environmental shift creates a behavioral shift, and that shift builds momentum, and that momentum rebuilds control. So stop asking, why can't I stay consistent? Ask instead, what in my environment is making inconsistency easy? Once you see the script, you can rewrite it. And once you rewrite it, you stop reacting to your life and start directing it. Chapter 2. You are trained, not lazy. You tell yourself you'll start in 5 minutes. You know exactly what needs doing. The goal isn't unclear, but you don't move. Instead, you reach for something easier. Your phone, another tab, a video you never planned to watch. And you tell yourself a story. I'll start after this. I'm just not in the mood yet. Deep down, you know that's not true. This isn't about mood, it's a pattern. You delay, you avoid, you promise to start later, and later becomes tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes the same cycle again. Eventually, you stop trusting yourself quietly, not dramatically. You say you'll do something, and some part of you already knows you won't. That's where it starts to hurt, because it doesn't feel like laziness. It feels like being trapped inside yourself. But here's the truth. You're not lazy. You're trained. Your brain learns from repetition. Whatever you do often gets automated not because it's good, but because it's familiar. Check your phone every time you feel resistance, and your brain learns that pattern. Avoid discomfort, and your brain reinforces avoidance. Reward distraction, and your brain will keep seeking it until it becomes your default. What you call laziness is actually conditioning. You didn't wake up one day and decide to be inconsistent. You adapted to your habits, your systems, your surroundings. And adaptation doesn't ask permission. It just happens. Think about your daily environment. Phone always in reach, entertainment always available, distraction always one click away. You don't need to search for escape, it's already waiting. So when your brain feels resistance, it takes the easiest path, not the best one. If the easiest option is distraction, that's what you'll keep choosing, not from lack of discipline, but because your environment is designed for avoidance. This is where most people go wrong. They try to fight the behavior, telling themselves to be stronger, to stop being lazy, without ever changing the system that produced the behavior. So, nothing changes. Same triggers, same patterns, same frustration. You don't need more pressure. You need better design. Behavior isn't about force, it's about friction. Easy things get done. Hard things get avoided. That's the whole equation. So instead of asking, how do I become more disciplined? Ask, what is my environment making easy right now? Whatever's easy becomes automatic. Phone within reach distraction is easy. Messy workspace focus is hard. Effortful habits, you'll delay them. Every small detail distance, visibility, accessibility tips the scale between action and avoidance. So change the equation. Make bad habits harder. Phone in another room, distracting apps logged out. Friction added wherever it counts. Make good habits easier. Notebook already open, workspace prepped in advance. Fewer steps required to start. You're not becoming a different person overnight. You're just shifting the balance, one adjustment at a time. The real turning point isn't motivation. It's realizing you've been training yourself the whole time. Every delay was practice. Every distraction was repetition. Every avoidance was reinforcement. You didn't fail, you trained the wrong pattern. And if you trained one pattern, you can train another. So next time you catch yourself thinking, I'm just lazy, pause and ask instead, what has my environment been training me to do? Once you see the training, you can change it, and once you change it, you stop needing to fight yourself. Chapter 3. Environment. Beats. Willpower. Every time. Willpower feels powerful for a moment. Your environment controls you all day. You feel that surge of determination this time will be different. You sit down, focus for a few minutes, and it works. Then something small interrupts. A notification, a stray thought, a flicker of discomfort. Your focus doesn't collapse instantly. It slips gradually. You check one thing, shift your attention, tell yourself it's harmless, and just like that, you're gone. The motivation you felt minutes ago evaporates and you're left wondering again why you can't stay consistent. It feels like your willpower failed. The truth is, it never stood a chance. Willpower is temporary. Environment is constant, and constant always wins. You might feel motivated for an hour, your environment shapes you for the other 23. No matter how strong your resolve feels in the moment, if your surroundings don't change, your behavior reverts to what's familiar, not what's important. Trying to eat healthy with junk food in front of you? Trying to focus while your phone keeps lighting up? Trying to work in a noisy, cluttered space? You're not improving. You're fighting, and it's a fight you'll lose more often than not. Not because you're weak, but because you're outnumbered. Every cue is pulling in a different direction, and your brain responds to what's easiest, not what's meaningful. That's why relying on willpower is exhausting. You're forcing yourself against everything around you, and force doesn't last. Design does. Stop trying to be stronger. Start making things easier. The goal isn't to resist bad habits, it's to remove the need to resist them at all. No junk food in sight, no willpower required. Phone out of reach, no discipline required to ignore it. Clean workspace, no motivation required to start. The battle disappears before it begins. Real discipline isn't about pushing through, it's about setting things up so you don't have to push at all. Make the right action the default, the wrong action inconvenient. Behavior follows the path of least resistance always. So change the path. Make distraction harder. Notifications off. Phone out of the room. Blockers in place. Make focus easier. Workspace ready before you sit down. Nothing competing for your attention. You're not trying to win a battle, you're eliminating the battlefield. And when you do, something shifts. You stop feeling like you're fighting yourself. You just start without the urge to escape. It feels natural, not forced. That's when you realize you were never the problem. You were just performing in the wrong environment. So instead of asking, how do I become more disciplined? Ask, what is my environment making harder than it needs to be? Fix that. And you stop depending on motivation or willpower, not because you got stronger overnight, but because you stopped putting yourself in situations where strength was required. Chapter 4. What you see controls what you do. Your eyes decide your actions before your mind thinks you're choosing anything. You sit down to work, distractions removed, ready to focus. Then, without thinking, you glance at your phone, not because it buzzed, just because it's there, within your line of sight. That's all it takes. Part of your attention splits off, and a few seconds later, you give in. Not from lack of discipline, because your environment put temptation directly in view. Most people think behavior starts with decisions. It doesn't. It starts with what you see. Your brain constantly scans for cues, for the easiest next action, and whatever enters your visual field becomes a silent suggestion. Visibility is power. What you see repeatedly becomes what you do automatically. Visible phone, visible habit. Visible food, visible craving. Visible distraction. Visible action, not because you choose it, but because your brain reacts to it. What's always in front of you, your goals or your distractions. Whichever is more visible wins every time. People don't forget their goals. They just don't see them enough. Instead, they see their phone, their bed, everything pulling them away from what matters. and the brain follows the strongest visual cue, not the most important one. So change what's in front of you. Make the right action obvious, the wrong action invisible. Your brain can't act on what it doesn't see. Phone out of sight, the urge weakens. Distractions hidden, they lose power. Goal visible, it becomes a constant reminder, and reminders shape behavior. This isn't about willpower. It's about exposure. You become what you're repeatedly exposed to. So place your notebook on the desk. Keep your work open and ready. Make your space point you toward action. Turn your phone face down. Move it out of reach. Clear the visual clutter. You're not eliminating temptation, just reducing its presence. And that changes everything, because the less you see something, the less you think about it, and the less power it holds. Sit in a clean space with nothing competing for your attention, and your mind goes quiet, not because you forced it, but because nothing is triggering it. In that quiet, you can finally think, finally focus, finally act without resistance. You realize you were never bad at focusing. You were just surrounded by things engineered to break it. So stop asking, why can't I stay focused? Ask instead, what am I seeing every day that's training me to lose focus? Control what enters your eyes, and you control what enters your mind. Control your mind, and your actions follow not through force, but through design. There's a deeper layer here too. You're not just reacting to what you see in the moment. You're being shaped by what you've seen repeatedly over time. Every time your eyes land on your phone, even without needing it, the brain strengthens an association. Phone equals stimulation. Screen equals escape. Repeat that enough, and it becomes automatic. You don't think about it, you just act. That's how habits form, not through effort, but exposure. Now flip it. Imagine sitting down and the first thing you see is your work already open. A clean space, a single task, waiting no friction, no confusion. Your brain doesn't need to search for what to do. The environment already told it. That's the real shift. You stop relying on memory or motivation and start relying on design. When the right action is the most visible action, it becomes the easiest one to take. Pay attention to the moment of hesitation, that tiny pause between intention and action. What you see in that moment determines everything. Distraction in view, longer hesitation. Clarity in view, faster movement. Small visual cues control big decisions, not dramatically, but consistently, and consistency shapes your life. So look around you right now, not as a place, but as a system. What is it training you to do? What is it making easy or hard? Once you see it clearly, you realize you don't need to control every thought or fight every distraction. You just need to control what you see. Do that, and you don't just change your focus, you change the direction of your life. Chapter 5. Your social. Environment builds your identity. You don't become what you want. You become what your environment normalizes daily. You're in a group. Someone complains about work. Someone jokes about being lazy. Everyone laughs. It's not funny, but because it feels familiar. And in that moment, something shifts. You don't argue. You adapt. You nod. You accept it as normal. Without realizing it, your standard moves. This is how identity forms, not in big moments, but in small, repeated exposures. Humans are wired for belonging more than for growth, more than for logic. You want to fit in, even if it costs you. That means the people around you aren't just influencing your behavior. They're defining what feels normal, what feels acceptable, what feels like you. Normalize distraction, and distraction stops feeling wrong. Normalize procrastination, and urgency disappears. Normalize staying stuck, and change feels unnecessary because nothing around you challenges it. And what isn't challenged becomes identity. You leave a conversation feeling slightly different, heavier, less focused without knowing why. That's your social environment calibrating you quietly until you act in ways that feel natural but were never intentional. Now, flip it. Spend time with people who take action, who follow through, who talk about growth instead of complaints. Suddenly, staying the same feels uncomfortable, not because you're forced, but because your environment has set a new standard and your brain adapts to it. This is why who you spend time with matters more than what you tell yourself. Identity isn't built in isolation, it's built through exposure. You become what surrounds you. And the most dangerous part is you rarely notice it happening. Your thoughts feel like yours, but many are borrowed. Your standards feel fixed, but they're constantly shaped. If you stay in the same environment, you'll keep becoming the same person, not because you want to, but because you keep adapting to the same inputs. So, become aware. Who are you around most? What do they normalize? Whatever feels normal becomes your baseline, and your baseline determines your actions. Low-effort baseline, low-effort behavior. Growth-oriented baseline, growth without needing to force it. This applies to your digital environment too. What you watch, scroll, and consume shapes you just as much as the people around you. Every video is a signal, every piece of content a suggestion. Consume distraction, and you become distracted. Consume negativity, and you become negative. Consume growth, and you grow not instantly, but inevitably, because repetition shapes belief, and belief shapes behavior. So the real question isn't, who do I want to be? It's what environment would naturally create that person. Place yourself there, and change stops feeling forced. It starts feeling inevitable. You stop trying to act different and start placing yourself where acting different is normal. You don't force discipline, you surround yourself with it. You don't chase motivation, you expose yourself to it. You don't fight your old identity, you replace the environment that created it. And slowly, without pressure, you change. Think about the people around you, the content you consume, the conversations you're part of. Are they pulling you forward or holding you in place? Whatever you stay around, you become. Once you understand that, you stop leaving your identity to chance, you start designing it, one exposure at a time, until one day you realize you didn't just change your habits. You changed who you are. Chapter 6. Design your environment like a system. Your life doesn't change when you try harder. It changes when you build better systems. You wake up early, determined this time will be different, then reach for your phone, just to check something, and you're pulled into the same loop, scrolling, delaying. Same pattern, same outcome. You had intention. You even had discipline for a moment, but it didn't last. That's the problem with relying on moments of motivation, clarity, energy. Moments don't build consistency, systems do. A moment pushes you to act once. A system makes action repeat, and repetition changes your life. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you're already living inside a system, just one built by default, not intention. Phone by the bed, cluttered desk, unplanned mornings, all part of a system that reliably produces distraction, delay, inconsistency. Not because you chose it, but because you never designed against it. So stop asking, how do I stay disciplined every day? And start asking, what system would make discipline unnecessary? The goal isn't to force the right action, it's to make it the easiest action. A system removes decision, resistance, and the need to think, because thinking is where most people lose. They overthink, hesitate, delay, and fall back into old patterns. Simple example. Phone next to your bed, and the first action is already decided. Phone in another room, and a different behavior follows, not through discipline, through design. Apply that everywhere, your workspace, your habits, your routines. Instead of asking yourself to be stronger, remove the need for strength. Make the forward path clear and the backward path inconvenient. Picture sitting down to work when your space is already set up, distractions already removed, task already clear. You don't need to think or prepare, you just start. No internal battle because the system already decided for you. That's when you realize you are never inconsistent. You are just operating without a system, and without one, you default to what's easy always. This is why people fail to change. They rely on effort instead of structure, discipline instead of design. They try to control behavior without controlling the environment producing it, and that never lasts because effort fades but systems remain. So, build smarter. Start with your mornings. What's the first thing you see, the first action available? That sets the tone for everything after. Then examine your workspace. Is it built for focus or full of friction? Remove every unnecessary step, every distraction masquerading as a decision. Make starting as easy as possible, because starting is where most people fail. Then look at your habits. Are they ready before you need them, or do they require effort just to begin? Reduce the distance between intention and action. Prepare in advance. Make the next step obvious, because an obvious next step becomes automatic. Stop asking what you feel like doing and start following what's already set up. Feelings are unreliable. They fade exactly when you need them most. Systems don't. They stay, they guide, they create consistency without emotion. Ask yourself, what is my current system producing? Because it will keep producing that until you change it, and change doesn't require an overhaul. Move one thing. Remove one distraction. Prepare one action in advance. That's enough to start momentum building, consistency building, identity shifting, not because you forced it, but because your environment made it inevitable. That's the real power of designing your environment. You remove friction, hesitation, the constant need to fight yourself, and replace it with clarity, flow, control. So stop trying to win the same battle daily. Build a system that makes strength unnecessary, and you'll become someone who no longer depends on effort to move forward. Chapter 7. Small Changes. Create massive shifts. You don't need a new life. You need one small shift, repeated daily. You believe change has to be dramatic, a full reset, a different version of you starting tomorrow. You wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, but that version of you never arrives, and deep down, you know why. Every time you try to change everything at once, you collapse. Not instantly, gradually. You start strong, motivation fades, effort feels heavier, and you drift back to what's familiar. Not because you failed, but because the change was too big to sustain. Real change doesn't come from intensity, it comes from consistency, built on small, almost invisible shifts. You clean a small part of your desk, nothing major, and sitting down again feels a little easier. Not effortless, just easier. That's the effect of a small change. It doesn't transform your life instantly, it shifts the direction, and direction is what matters. Because your life is built through patterns, and patterns are shaped by repetition. So the question isn't, what big change do I need? It's, what small shift can I repeat? Repetition compounds quietly, powerfully, until it becomes obvious. Move your phone away every time you work, less distraction. Open your workspace before sitting down. Less friction. Clear one surface daily, more clarity. None of it feels life-changing alone, but together it stacks. And stacking is where transformation happens. Most people chase big results while ignoring the small systems that actually produce them. Identity doesn't change in one decision. It changes in hundreds of small ones, each reinforcing who you're becoming. Follow through on something small. Clean your space like you said you would. Start working like you said you would, and something internal shifts. You trust yourself a little more, because self-trust is built the same way, not through big promises, but small, consistent actions. Every follow-through proves something quietly. I do what I say I will do. That belief grows, stabilizes, becomes identity. And once that identity is strong, everything else gets easier. Because now you're not acting differently. You are different. But it all starts small. People want the outcome and skip the repetition, and without repetition, nothing sticks. So simplify. Make it small enough to succeed, easy enough to repeat, clear enough to follow. Success isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently, especially when they feel insignificant. There's no single moment where everything changes, just a series of small moments handled differently. That's how your life shifts, not through one big decision, but hundreds of small ones, stacked and reinforced over time. So stop waiting for a breakthrough or a perfected version of yourself. Start where you are. Change one thing. Repeat it. Again and again, until it becomes part of you. And once something is part of you, you stop thinking about it. You just do it. Not because it was hard, but because it was consistent. Ask yourself, what's one small shift I can make today that I can repeat tomorrow? That's where real change begins. Chapter 8. Reclaim control of your life. You don't need to escape your life. You need to redesign what controls it. There's a moment where everything becomes clear, not dramatically, just quietly, in the middle of an ordinary day. You catch yourself reaching for the same distraction, about to repeat the same pattern, and this time you pause. Not because you suddenly became stronger, but because you finally see it. The pattern, the trigger, the environment that's been guiding you all along. This isn't random. It's designed not intentionally, but consistently. Everything around you has been shaping your habits, your focus, your identity, all influenced by what you see and what you're exposed to daily. Once you see that, you can't unsee it. That's the real turning point, not trying harder, but becoming aware. Awareness creates distance from automatic behavior, from unconscious patterns, from the version of you that kept repeating the cycle. And in that space, you finally have a real choice. Keep living in the same environment or change it. Control isn't about willpower. It's about design. You don't control your life by trying harder. You control it by changing what controls you. Your environment stops being something you ignore and becomes something you shape deliberately, with purpose. Start with your space. See it not as a place you exist in, but as a system producing behavior. What is it encouraging, allowing, making easy? Whatever's easy will keep happening. So remove what pulls you away, not perfectly, just intentionally. Clear the distractions, simplify the space, make room for focus. Then add what moves you forward. A clear workspace, a visible goal, an effortless starting point. You're not building a perfect environment, just a better one. And that's enough. Then examine your inputs, what you watch, consume, scroll through. Your mind becomes what it absorbs. Fill it with noise. It gets noisy. Fill it with distraction. It stays distracted. Fill it with clarity. It aligns. So choose better inputs gradually, replacing what weakens you with what strengthens you. Then look at your routines, not as rigid rules, but supportive structures. What happens automatically in your day? Those patterns are your real life, not your intentions or plans. So adjust them one step at a time. Guide your day instead of reacting to it. Slowly, without force, your behavior shifts because your environment is guiding it differently. That's when control returns not as a feeling, but as a system, stable, repeatable, reliable. And the most important part, you stop fighting yourself. You stop waking up needing to fix something, questioning your discipline because you're no longer living in an environment that creates conflict. You're living in one that supports you. There's no dramatic moment, just a quiet realization. You're no longer someone who reacts to everything around them. You're someone who decides what surrounds them, and that decision changes everything, because controlling your environment means controlling your behavior, which shapes your identity, which changes your life not temporarily, permanently. So don't wait. Don't overthink. Don't try to become someone else overnight. Start here. Look around. Change one thing, then another, until your environment matches the life you're building. You were never stuck. You were just surrounded by the wrong system. Now you know how to change it. Take control, not by force, but by design. Once you start redesigning your environment, something unexpected happens. At first it's small. You move your phone away, clean your space, remove a distraction. Nothing dramatic. Then you notice you're doing things you used to avoid, not because you forced yourself, but because it's easier now. You sit down and actually begin. You focus and stay longer. You act without negotiating with yourself. That's when it hits you. This was never about becoming someone new. It was about removing what was holding you in place. Most of your struggle was never internal. It was structural. You were trying to grow in an environment built to keep you the same, and no matter how hard you tried, it kept pulling you back. Now that pull is weaker, and your forward motion is stronger, not because you changed overnight, but because the system around you did. A quiet confidence builds not loud, just real. You trust yourself more because you're relying on structure instead of feelings, and that changes how you see yourself. You stop hoping you'll stay consistent and start realizing you've built something that makes consistency natural. That shift is everything, because identity isn't built on what you want, it's built on what you repeatedly do. And now, what you repeatedly do is different. You show up, you follow through. Over time, that becomes who you are. No announcement, no big moment, just a gradual realization that you're no longer the person who struggles to start. You're the person who begins. It didn't happen because you became stronger. It happened because you stopped living in an environment that made you weak. That's the truth. Most people never grasp. Change isn't about pushing harder, it's about removing what's pushing against you. So instead of fighting your old habits forever, outgrow them. Build a life where distraction feels out of place, where inconsistency feels unnatural, where progress feels normal. Once your environment aligns with your future, your past loses its grip, and you stop trying to be better. You just live differently, naturally, effortlessly, consistently. So if you're waiting for the moment everything clicks, this is it. Not a dramatic breakthrough, just a decision to stop leaving your life to chance and start designing it with intention. The truth is simple. You were never stuck. You were just surrounded. And now you know how to choose what surrounds you, and that choice shapes everything that comes next. A final word. There was a time I genuinely believed something was wrong with me. Quietly, consistently, I couldn't focus. I kept delaying what mattered. I'd start strong and fall back into the same patterns, and every time I told myself the same thing. I need more discipline. So I pushed harder, forced myself to focus, made promises I couldn't keep. For a moment, it worked. It never lasted because no matter how hard I tried, I was still waking up in the same environment, facing the same triggers, the same system pulling me back. Eventually, I stopped trusting myself, not loudly, just in that quiet way that changes how you see everything. I'd say I'd do something and not believe it. That was the real low point. Not failure, but losing faith in myself. Everything changed when I stopped asking, how do I become more disciplined? And started asking, what is my environment making me become? That question was uncomfortable because it meant the problem wasn't just me, it was everything around me. So I stopped trying to fix myself and started changing what was shaping me. I moved my phone away. I cleared my space. I removed what distracted me and added what moved me forward. Small changes. Nothing dramatic, but something shifted. I focused longer, followed through more, felt in control again, not perfectly, but consistently. For the first time, it didn't feel like a fight. It felt natural. That's when I understood something I wish I'd known sooner. You don't build a better life by forcing better behavior. You build it by designing a better environment. Your environment is always working, either for you or against you. There is no neutral. So if you take one thing from this, you're not behind, not broken, not missing something everyone else has. You've just been living in an environment that was never built for your growth. The moment you change that, everything begins to change with you, not instantly, but inevitably. Don't try to fix everything at once. Don't wait for motivation or the right time. Start small. Remove one thing holding you back. Add one thing moving you forward. Change one part of your space, and let that be enough, because it is. Day by day, you won't just see changes in what you do. You'll feel a shift in who you are. So look around you, not as a place, but as a force shaping you right now, and ask yourself, is this environment building the person I want to become? If the answer is no, you already know what to do. Start changing it, one decision at a time. Because the life you want isn't waiting for you to become stronger. It's waiting for you to build the environment that makes strength unnecessary. And the moment you do that, you don't just change your habits, you change your entire direction.